Hi, today I'm going to present on temporal clauses in the Latin language. The first one we're going to talk about is the conditional relative clause, which is an independent clause leading it into a dependent clause. And there are 6 main forms to this. There are 3 in the indicative and 3 in the subjunctive. So there's simple fact present, which indicates are or are is, and it's present indicative. There's simple fact past, which is a past tense indicative and will translate to like nothing really special, just if this was happening, this happened in the past tense. There's future more vivid, which translates to like a future indicative verb, and you have a present in the dependent clause and a future in the independent clause. And then you have the 3 subjunctive forms, which are contrary to fact present, which takes an imperfect subjunctive and translates to were would. You have contrary to fact past, which takes a pluperfect subjunctive and translates to had would have. And then you have the future less vivid, which translates to should would. And an example that I have on the sheet is, when you deny it to be evil, I am misled. I will not be doing the Latin statements because I will butcher that language. The next one are clauses with postquam, ubi, or simul, and they take indicative presents or perfects, and those translate to things like, as soon as he was brought in, he did this. So it's the lead-in, simul, ubi, atque, and then the clause, this happens, causing something else. The next thing are clauses with cum, which are the temporal, causal, and concessive. Temporal clauses take cum and indicative, and then they indicate a thing that defines time, and it translates to when. I have an example here. I'm going to read the English translation, which is, at that time when money had lost great fortune in Asia. The next one is a cum plus imperfect or pluperfect subjunctive, which indicates circumstances before the main verb. So when Italy was under siege, this happened. The next thing is causal and concessive, which indicates causality, so it translates to because, and that takes the subjunctive too. So it's things like, because I woke up, this happened. The last one is the concessive cum clause, which also takes the subjunctive plus a form of tum, so it translates to although. So although this happened, nevertheless, this will not happen. And the second to last thing is clauses with anteque and priusquam, which take both the indicative and subjunctive. With the perfect indicative, it indicates time in the past. With the present or future perfect indicative, it indicates time in the future. And with the imperfect subjunctive, it indicates purpose or an event that did not take place, like a hypothetical. And the last one we're going to talk about are clauses with dum, donec, or oye, which means well, until, I understood, or up to a point. And if you have that in the present indicative or imperfect, if you have them in the present or imperfect subjunctive, it translates to intention or hypothetical. Perfect indicative indicates an actual event. Dum plus the present tense equals, in the indicative, is continued action carrying over from the past into the present. And then the past tense equals a contrast time, so while I was with you, this did not happen. Those are all the temporal clauses. Yep.